So we're here for the tuning guide for the free race sail. The free race sail is a slightly simpler version of the racing sail, and so is the tuning. I'm going to run you through the 4 aspects of rigging and tuning the sail. The first one, downhaul tension. Second one, outhole tension. Then we're going to run you through the batten tension of the main body battens and the batten tension of the sleeve tensioners. So yeah, we're going to start with the downhaul. The downhaul is the most important part of the sail that gives you the performance. It can either make a sail really heavy if you have too little downhaul, or it can make the sail really twitchy and a little bit light and without any drive if you have too much downhaul. So for the downhaul, you really need to go off the cues. Per board, it can be slightly different. If you have a little bit heavier free race board, you may want to ride it with a little bit less downhaul to get enough power on the fin to get the board to actually start tracking. But if you use a pure slalom board, you probably want to use a little bit more downhaul tension on the sail, because the board will fly out and actually have the ability to accelerate to higher speeds, reducing the pressure in the sail slightly. Then we go to the outhole tension. On a free race sail, I don't think it's very common to use an adjustable outhole. You can, if you feel comfortable using it. It allows you to adjust the outhole while you're on the water. If you're going for a fixed outhole system, just like we have it set up over here, then you'll be required to stop either at the beach, or sometimes you can do it on the water. I don't recommend it. Probably better to do it at the beach. And you can adjust the outhole. Reducing the outhole tension will give a little bit of a fuller profile, gives you a little bit more power, a little bit more drive, and can be suited for heavier guys, heavier boards, or lighter winds, where a little bit more outhole tension makes a little bit of a flatter sail, releases some of the pressure in the sail, gives you a little bit more control, especially if the wind picks up a little bit. On the free race sail, I would say, if this is the neutral tension right here, so when the sail is actually moving up and down quite easily, go about 10 millimeters from there and use that as your base. That base you can work off. If you have too little power, you can release a little bit. If you have too much power, you can add a little bit more. I wouldn't add too much from there, as it may make the sail too flat, reduce your performance, and also kind of adjust the feeling in the sail where it doesn't really have a defined pressure point, so it could make the sail slightly unstable. For the batten tension on the free race sail, very similar to a racing sail, or most sails out there actually, we go for pretty decent tension on the bottom 2 battens. We try to go for about a medium tension on the batten above the boom. This is to keep some profile right here, because you need it for drive, for pressure, and for acceleration. But don't over-tension it, because it will lock up the mid-leach. So right here, you can see the mid-leach actually still is quite dynamic. You need that to get the top-end acceleration. So when you hit a really strong gust, you want that mid-leach to open up and push you forward, give you all the speed that you're looking for. Then for the battens above that, I would go for a minimum tension, just pulling out the wrinkles. As I can see on this batten, we actually have a few wrinkles, so I'm just going to go ahead, give it a little bit of tension, and you will see what it does to the sail. So now that the wrinkles are gone, that's about what you want. You don't want any more tension than that. Same on the 2 battens above. Unless you feel like the head is excessively flapping, you can add a little bit of tension on the top batten to just tighten the leach a little bit and give you a little bit more stability in the leach. So the unique thing on these sails with the air cam is that we have a separate batten tension system for the back part, so for the body part, and for the sleeve part, which means you can actually run relatively low tension on here to allow the mid-leach to be dynamic, while running a little bit more tension here to have the right profile that you're looking for to get the sail to be stable and get the maximum performance. Tensioning these battens you do with a key that gets supplied by the sail, with the sail. It's a little Allen key that you can insert from the back of the tensioner right here. Screwing on tension by tightening, and releasing tension by loosening the screw. It's very easy. I think we just want to remove the wrinkles from the sleeve above the boom, so just removing the wrinkles is all the tension that you need. If you do it on this side of the sail, you also need to do it on that side of the sail, because this plastic part actually functions as a splitter, meaning there's one batten coming from the back. It splits into 2 battens going forward, one on the back side of the sail, one on the front side of the sail. So when you tension the front side, make sure you give the back side equal tension. Above the boom, we want to have a medium to low tension, so just removing the wrinkles and maybe half a turn more. That's about it. And then for the batten, the 2 battens below the boom, we want to go to a little bit higher tension. So remove the wrinkles and then give it 2 more turns to just add a little bit of tension to lock that profile into place. Adjusting the batten tension on the sleeve battens should always be done without any pressure inside the air cam. The air cam is actually putting quite a bit of compression into these battens, and tightening them while you have the pressure in the air cam could put excessive strain on these battens, and we don't want you to damage the sail. So let's make sure that we release the air cam pressure, add the tension that we need to get the wrinkles out, and then put back the air cam pressure again. Usually these sleeve battens only need to be tensioned once, so once they're set up, you should be good to go for the lifetime of the sail. Small adjustments may always be required, but normally should be pretty stable. That's it for your rigging and tuning.